Taehyung's father was scared. Stop this nonsense. You have nothing to do with my son. This is Korea, my own country, not in Australia. Where did you do anything? You didn't know about Jungkook yet. I have seen you, Jungkook, and I will kill him. He hung up the phone while speaking with hatred. Oh God, he has come into my son's life again. God, protect my son and his husband for this devilish person. Hoon, let me make tea for you too, Nuri said, while he going out from behind. He smiled and turned back. No, I'm going for a walk. I will come and drink. Thank you for asking. Smiling said that, he waved his hand and went out. Wearing black suit, he looked very cute to Nori. Hoon looked at him as he was looking for someone, but he didn't find that being. He started running on the road, about shaking his head. When he stopped, he was shocked. In front of him, Rumi was sitting on a large stone and watching the rising sun. There was a strong frown on her face. Her lips were blue. He came closer to her anxiously. She came to her senses at the sound of some bay. Seeing Hoon standing in front of him, he smiled artificially. Good morning. He spoke seriously. How are you? Good morning, she said, looking at the other way. I'm fine. I don't think you're feeling better. You have a fever. She shook his head in negative in response to. This fever is inside and won't go away. She spoke slowly, on which Hoon looked at her, pale faced with confusion, which had a strange sadness. Rumi, let me tell you something, he said, looking at her face carefully. She started and looked at him in response. When a person starts suppressing the pain inside, it's eat the person from inside out. It starts to dissolve inside. It doesn't find a way out. That is why it is said that when you're very worried, you should cry. It makes your heart lighter, and you didn't need any human sympathy. As soon as he said this, many tears would start falling from Rumi's big size on her face. He kept looking at her face without being sure. Her face was now turned into hiccups. Rumi, can I ask you something? He asked slowly. She bowed her head and started wiping the falling tears, but the tears were so strong that they couldn't stop. Rumi, what is your sorrow? He said, putting his hand in his pocket. One was an sincere person who looked everyone's sorrow and pain in his heart. Nothing, just bad health. So I cried like that. She spoke in a full tone and rubbed his eyes with her shirt. He shook his head in response, and without meeting his eyes, she turned around and ran straight toward the road. He shook his head in response with regret. After all, what sorrow does the girl have? That is, eat her inside. He started thinking worriedly as he walked slowly. 1 minute, take a long two. They suddenly come in front of him and said, Captain, Jungkook, who was going to walk toward the forest behind the mansion. At first in the morning, wearing a trouser shirt, suddenly saw Taehyung in front of him and was get shocked. Where'd you go? He spoke in a cool tone. With you. On the walk, they spoke carefully. As he walked with him, Jungkook took a deep breath and was left. Are you taking this deep breath, looking at me? Or you're breathing fresh air? Tell me, they said with a form. Jungkook shook his head in response and slowly walked into the forest. They was also with him, looking around. They suddenly split on the stone and started falling. Oh God, they would have fallen on his knees if Jungkook hadn't quickly held their wrist. Walk carefully, he instructed him, and start walking again. Would you always do the wrong things? They keep quiet while saying this because he started staring at him. I mean, that's why do you go for a walk on this side? Go to the road. What if any animal came across here? Wearing white trouser and white shirt, they looked very cute. My wish. Jungkook shrugged his shoulder and said carelessly. They had put his hand on his mouth and laughed. Taehyung liked Jungkook's carefree style very much. Jungkook was shocked and felt the laugh echo in the forest very clearly. Have you ever found a snake here? They put his hand in his pocket, came in front of Jungkook and said. He looked at them seriously in response. Why are you looking at me? They said while raising his eyebrow. I'm staring at you. You start eating my brain in the morning. He moved forward, speaking in a low tone. They looked at his bag in response and started following him. Did you ever flirt or love? You fell in love with your wives, right? They hadn't stopped being naughty again. Keep quiet. He spoke seriously. I would his scroll down, thinking that he would have a several leg of whispering. By the way, you're very handsome. Girls must be dying for your personality. They spoke while walking with him. He continued walking without paying attention to him. Tell me, believe me, I have not told anyone and I'm not jealous type of boy. They spoke in a similar tone. I have brought Taehyung today, but believe me, I have made mistake once. I will never bring you with me in the future. Jungkook spoke while getting angry. They smiled in response. You know, I used to participate in singing in college functions. They proudly raised his head and said, They has not learned to be quiet. And you used to come first. Don't start your pricing again. They said helplessly. No, I didn't even get the fifth trophy. The first time was it different. They said with a window. In response, he looked at the boy in surprise and turned around. To the path lead the home. I hope you enjoy my company. They said mischievously. You have licked my whole brain. In response, they just put his hand on his wrist and stared at Jungkook back. Sir, Hoon has come to meet you. His secretary had told him on the phone. Jungkook was shocked. Okay, send him inside. He kept the receiver on, but started looking at the door with thoughtful eyes from where he had come in and wearing the white shirt and black jeans. Hello, Hoon. He stood in the door and said very respectfully, Come in, Hoon. He said, looking at him lovingly. Hyung, I wanted to talk to you. Sit down first. Would you like to take a coffee? He said while holding the receiver. Coffee. He bowed his head and said, What's the matter, son? Why are you worried? Everything is okay. He looked at his bald head and said with Hyung, I had to share something with you about Taehyung, Hyung. Hun said seriously, intertwining the fingers of his hand. Hun, you can share anything with me. I have considered you, not my brother, but as my son. You can share anything with me without any hesitation. Hyung, you will believe me, right? He said and looked at me. If I don't believe you, I won't believe myself either. Jungkook said with a sly smile that this boy was very dear to him. Hun smiled while taking a deep breath.